What up, what up? Say Stoke G, back with another topic, back with another video. So the title of this video is gonna be, Black folks are crashing out over the Spirit Airline shutdown. So we can talk about it. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the videos out, to give you leverage to better sales. So let's get into it. So black folks are crashing out over the Spirit Airline shutdown. So as a preface to this video, I'm gonna talk about specifically about black folks. And I do understand that black folks are not the only demographic that's poor, right? So I don't want anybody to get in their feelings, whatever, and try to make it seem like HOG is talking derogatory about black folks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not it. But what I will say is that when you look at social media, you see mainly black folks crashing out over this situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a fact. That's not me blowing smoke up your behind. That's real talk. You know, that's what it is. And I understand why. Because Spirit Airlines, because of their prices, it gave access to folks that normally would not have access to be able to fly somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing, because in my personal opinion, you know, when you live life, you know, as long as you do the right thing and you try to be the best person possible for yourself, for your family, you know what I'm saying, you should have access to certain things that other folks have access to that you may not have access to in your life. And Spirit Airlines gave that access. Now, I do understand that, you know, a lot of folks probably feel like, you know, they shouldn't have had that access because they say black folks, quote unquote, don't know how to act on an airplane. You know what I'm saying? And that sounds like BS to me. It just really does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, there are some demographics that have access to those flights when it came to the prices and everything like that. But I mean, come on, man. It's really, really biased and racist for folks to say stuff like that, man. It really is, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, prices are placed on certain, you know, items and, you know, events and venues, things of that nature, whatever, because, and a lot of times it's done intentional because that particular company wants to have a certain demographic not be able to afford it. Or they want a certain demographic to afford certain things. So, you know, it's just like clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got clothes that are like $1,000 pair of jeans, right? So your average person not gonna buy $1,000 pair of jeans. And quite honestly, the folks that can't afford it don't even buy it. You know what I'm saying? How many rich folks you see that wear just normal pair of jeans, you know what I'm saying? A white t-shirt and some Walmart shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you get a certain amount of money, you're not gonna wanna pay the high for certain things. But, you know, but I digress. On to the topic. So I've seen some videos of some black folks or whatever. They're really, really upset about this shutdown. And once again, I can sympathize with black folks, and I can agree with them, because this is crazy. I know I said in a previous video that folks should get their money up, or they finances up to be able to afford flights. But I mean, but that's not realistic for a lot of black folks, man. They are in poverty. Not all black folks. I'm just saying the ones that are in poverty, the ones that don't have a skill set that makes a lot of money, the ones that may be disabled, they're in the black community. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of black demographics out there that they do not have the funds, literally, to be able to fly. So Spirit Airlines gave that demographic that access. And that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. Because, you know, I feel personally that, you know, that regardless of what demographic you are, regardless of where you come from in life, everybody should have the same opportunities that anybody else does. You know what I'm saying? Like, this elite stuff is kind of crazy to me. That's the reason why I truly believe within the next 100 to 200 years, I think that that the world is going to change dramatically. And I think that it's not going to be a have and have nots. I think there's going to be a lot of things going to be universal for human beings. That's my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying? I do not think that 20 years from now it's going to be like this. Like, you got rich folks at top tier, you got folks at the very bottom. I think everybody's going to be even keel, and I think there's going to be world peace. That's just my personal opinion. But I digress. On to the topic. So, yeah, man. This situation is I think it's going to wind up having a lot of blowback when it comes to you know, how this thing is navigated. A lot of employees wind up you know, just literally not having a job, literally overnight. I said in another video. And Yeah, man. I may have to make another video about that one. You know what I'm saying? Because that was kind of crazy. But this is an airline that was that's been in functionality since 1983. So I read up on it. So it used to be called Charter Airlines, I believe, and then in the early 90s it changed its name to Spirit. And I went back and I actually checked and verified some things. And Spirit Airlines was a plane that I flew on back in 2001 when I went home to Virginia. I said in another video, I was like, I couldn't remember which airline it was. It was Spirit Airlines. And you know, I even said in that video, I was like, I don't recall Spirit being like, crazy, or like going to the ticket booth and seeing crazy stuff going on, or even on the airplane itself. And I had to think about it. There was no social media back in 2001. So I really think social media has really influenced the dynamic and the view of how Spirit Airlines is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the Spirit Airlines is as bad as what a lot of folks paint it out to be. But social media always highlights the negative stuff, right? So when you look up Spirit Airlines on social media, you're always gonna find something that's bad. But they don't show the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? The good stuff don't sell. It just doesn't. But I truly believe that this shutdown is going to affect a lot of black families when it comes to the flying. I mean, personally, I know a lot of black folks from my projects that I was raised in that have never flown in their life and never will. They're too scared to fly. You know what I'm saying? So, with Spirit Airlines, being so cheap at the time while it was still open, it really gave the opportunity to folks that I grew up with to be able to fly for the first time. And I know for myself, when I started flying, yeah, man, like I'll fly before I drive. Real talk. I'll throw some headphones in, you know what I'm saying? I may grab a good book or whatever to read or whatever, and I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather fly than drive. And honestly, flying is more safe than driving. It really is. But I've been seeing the crash out lately on social media, man, and I think it's going to happen for a good time to come now. When it comes, folks really being upset about it. But a crash out is just venting. It's not solving anything. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? I said before, I gave you guys an outlet when it came to how you're gonna navigate this thing. Go to Frontier Airlines and get a ticket from them if you need to pay for a cheap ticket. So I need a cheap ticket. But I think this crash out gonna last for a good little while, and quite honestly, it makes the black community looks a little bit bad when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? It just does. I'm just saying. I understand it's venting. I understand that folks have to get things off their chest. But this crash out is not a good look. And I see it all over TikTok. All over TikTok and all over Snapchat. And YouTube as well. But man, this is going to have some far-reaching effects. It really is. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that I think personally, and I'm not a financial guru or anything like that, but I think this is going to help other airlines, because other airlines had to compete with Spirit. Now, let me explain that. So, Spirit Airlines gave out cheap tickets, right? You know what I'm saying? So, so to compete with that, some airlines had to lower their ticket prices a little bit because Spirit Airlines kind of digging into their profits and digging into their customer base. But now, since Spirit Airlines is gone now, right? Now I think Delta and United and American is going to be able to hey, we're going to up the ante. We're going to start charging folks even more now. You know what I'm saying? Because now we have no competitor when it comes to Spirit Airlines. Frontier sells cheap tickets as well, but not like Spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? Spirit was the low. And with Spirit being gone, I think that Delta and all these other airlines are happy about it. I don't think they're sad about it one bit, right? And I think they're going to use this as leverage to actually get more profit and more money. So will this ostracize and put a block on certain black demographics from flying again for a long time to come? Yes, it will. There's no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe that this affects the black community in a negative way. It does. Because once again, I'm not saying that that black folks shouldn't elevate themselves and try to get more money to be able to afford ticket prices like other airlines. But at the end of the day, that's not realistic for a lot of folks. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? So Spirit gave black folks, certain demographic of black folks, access to flying. And now the access is gone. And may be gone forever. Because inflation is not going nowhere. Fuel prices are crazy right now. And Yeah, man, it's wild. But I want to hear you guys' opinions about this in the comment section below. Do you think that Spirit Airlines is going to have a negative effect on the black culture and the black community? Or do you think there's a long time coming, and will it help the black community elevate themselves? I want to hear your thoughts. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'll catch y'all next video. Say so G, signing out. I'm gone.